This is my face whenever Jason comes on my screen. I just cannot with that guy. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking Below Deck Med. We're on season 7, episode 12. We just don't click. And if you're like, hey Jen, what are you talking about? That's not the episode I watched. Well, I'll explain. I watched this on Peacock, and for whatever reason, they show the episodes early there. So, I don't want to spoil anything. Make sure you're on this episode when you're ready to listen. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. Come back to me when you are, because I really want to discuss this episode with you. Now, I am trying to get back into recapping a little bit more often, because that's where I started. That's my love. That's where I get to show my personality. But for some reason, I just can't get views on that. People only want to discuss Amber Heard. And while I do love discussing that, I don't get to show my personality like I do here. So here we are. Let's talk. I'm talking to both of you that are listening. Thanks for watching. Sandy, I know you're one of them. Thanks for being here. Okay, so let's get into this episode. Again, episode 12, We Just Don't Click. So the episode starts off with Sandy and Natasha. Now, we haven't gotten as much Sandy this season. Like I said before, I'm okay with that. Like a lot of you said in the comments, you're okay with that too. I think I don't know, maybe enough people got to Sandy to say, slow your roll. And she did. I find her a little bit less obnoxious this season. She talked to Natasha. Again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I liked Natasha a lot when this show started, when this season started. Not only is she gorgeous to look at, I just thought she was a sweet girl, hard worker. You know, the more I get to know her, the more weird, odd, I don't know what the word, that I'm finding her. I think, and believe me, I get why Natalya has her flaws, but I think Natalya nailed it this episode when she talks about Natasha kind of spins her wheels and wastes time on the wrong thing. I think Natasha is distracted by her horrible, shitty boyfriend, which we'll get into. So again, I got to give Sandy credit here. She was clear in her expectations. She was complimentary to Natasha and says, you're doing a good job, but you got to work on your organizational skills a little bit and make things right. Meaning you got a mess down there. And Natasha thinks she's prioritizing the guests, but I don't think that's what it is, because we've seen on many occasions where the guests kind of have to go looking for people for drinks and stuff like that. I don't think so. I think she's just being a little ineffective. And I'm not trying to dog on Natasha. I still like her okay. She bugs me with this whole relationship back and forth thing, which we'll talk about. But in general, I still like her okay. I don't think I don't know. I like her better than Jason. Jason, I think, just hates authority and hierarchy and does not work well in a team, whereas Natasha thinks she's trying hard and she does put forth a lot of effort and work, but I think she's distracted, truthfully. I think that's what it is. Okay, I'm talking through all this crap. They pulled up anchor. They headed to dock. They had their tip meeting, and we find out that they made $20,000. It ends up being $1,800 per person. Can I say, I'm just thinking about this episode, because I did enjoy the episode. I found myself feeling the same about Natasha as I have felt, kind of annoyed with her. I found myself liking Kyle more than I had, and I found myself liking Natalya a little less. And Natalya doesn't bother me. They keep trying to make it like she tattled. It didn't exactly go down like that. Sandy was kind of asking her what's up, and I get it. You're frustrated. Your boss is asking you what's up, you're going to vent. I don't fault Natalya for that. And I actually think she was right in her complaints. They're spinning their wheels in the wrong direction and they're distracted. So I get her complaints. Natalya bugs me for a whole mess of other reasons we'll talk about later, but that whole storm thing, I just felt like that was crap. Back to Natasha. Natasha, this is crazy. It's like her boyfriend seems like an awful person. We see the terrible texts he's sending her throughout. We saw in a previous episode that she can't even directly tell him, hey, knock that shit off or whatever, bye. She has to have her sister text him, hey, stop mean texting Natasha. What kind of relationship is that? I mean, we're not even going into they're both cheating on each other of it all. What I think it is Natasha is just what is that? Addicted to the drama? I mean, she wants somebody chasing after her. Dave chased after her, and when he got her, she left him. When her boyfriend chased after her, when he got her, she left him for Dave. I don't know if I'm making sense, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, and now that the boyfriend, and I think this boyfriend sucks. He sounds like a terrible person, but let's put that aside. He got her again, so now she feels like she seems to be straying back toward Dave. It's the thrill of the chase is what it boils down to, in my opinion. Here's where I think Natalya nailed it. She's doing the laundry, and she says, this is why we don't get things done. They're taking 2 hours hanging out in the cabin. She may have been exaggerating. It may not have been 2 hours, but I think her point was, if these two a-holes would just put their nose down, their head down, whatever, and get to work and just get it done, then there wouldn't have to be where you have to stay behind and do all this. It's just that it's like those people that are ineffective because they come up with a list of things to do and they get so bombarded by all the things they have to do that they don't actually get anything done. That's kind of what I'm thinking is happening. They're both so distracted with relationship stuff that they can't get stuff done. That's just the vibe I'm getting. I don't know. Again, Kyle doesn't bug me the way that Natasha does because Kyle's not the chief stew. Natasha is. So I think it's more on her to, make sure that the times make sense, make sure that her staffing makes sense, make sure that the right people are on the right shifts and things get done. Like, think about, I know Kate is polarizing, but a lot of people like Kate from Below Deck. Think about how she would have done it. She probably, I don't know, I just don't think she'd have two people working the exact same shifts, which Kyle and Natasha seem to do quite a bit, to have one running around ragged and be left with all the crap. Sandy brought up a good point. Natalya has been in the laundry room, but yet she's stuck with a lot of this cleaning. That doesn't seem to make sense. So Natalya gets upset, rightly so, saying if you guys would just get it done, you wouldn't have to miss Z's birthday. And I do think it's shitty. I'm not a birthday person, but in this case, your crewmate, like the nicest guy on the boat is having a birthday. Get your shit done and then go to his birthday party. Apparently it's a big deal to him. He wants everybody to come out. And instead of like getting stuff done, they're laying around in a bed. It's just, maybe it's editing, but it didn't sit well with me either. So they stay behind and work on the pantry while everybody else, I say everybody else, that's not true. Storm stayed behind too to work on, scrubbing the boat. So at first it was Courtney, Z, Natalya, and Chef Dave went out. And they're celebrating Z's birthday. Kyle has a hilarious line. If you blinked, you missed it. But he says he spent more time on his knees scrubbing the floor than sucking D. Use your imagination there. Love Kyle. Okay, so dinner. Chef Dave talks about Natasha, and he's wistful about it, right? He tried to make it work. It's not working. He says she's back with her boyfriend. He's upset. But he seems to be overall a little cooler, and that, I swear to God, that's what's winning Natasha over. It's the whole challenge. He's becoming a challenge again. Like, oh no, could I win him over again? And that's intriguing to Natasha. That's just my feeling. Okay, I'm going to break whatever here and talk about this guy. Okay, most of you seem to agree with me in my last video where I said I'm just not a fan of his. I did have some people saying you kind of got him. He felt like the others were, I guess, in a clique, and he felt left out. Okay, I'll give it to you. But I'm going to break the fourth wall here and say they're on a reality show. I think you have to have a certain personality. You don't have to wait to be invited to things. You kind of need to push your way in. And I don't think people are purposely trying to exclude him. I think he's just a different kind of guy, and that's okay. The whole world is made up of different kind of people, except for this is a reality show. And just like I wouldn't want a housewife to hang back and be like, I feel like they're a clique, they're excluding me, I'm waiting my turn to butt in. Jason, I don't appreciate that part of his personality either. Truly, my main beef with Jason is not even his weird personality. It's his problem with authority. You're in the wrong profession if you can't take, orders, whatever, from the people above you. even if you feel like you're right and they're wrong, you kind of just have to suck it up and deal with it. Well, just like in most corporate situations or whatever hierarchy situations, you just kind of have to deal with it. And he can't seem to do that. In what universe can you call your boss an a-hole and expect that no repercussions will happen, right? And then again, he said in a previous episode something along the lines of, I don't respect people that I don't 100% agree with. I'm thinking, well, you're going to have a lot of problems in the world because nobody 100% agrees with anybody, right? Like my husband drives me crazy. We never 100% agree. So, but I still respect him, That's kind of the point. So my opinion is I'm done with him, especially we'll get to what he says at the end. When he throws that temper tantrum like, well, you can replace me then, just replace me. I hope Storm does it. I think Storm's a little bit needy too sometimes, but I hope Storm does replace him. There, I said it. The other thing I want to get off my chest, and I sound like I'm feisty, I'm not, I promise. I'm having a great time. I got crap for saying I hate the name Home for that boat. Guess what? I still hate it. It's a very stupid name. I get it. You don't have to explain it. It's supposed to be home away from home. That's not what this is. It's not home away from home. My home doesn't almost flip over in the middle of the ocean. I don't hit concrete dolphins with my home. So no, it's not home. It's stupid. I would name it the C word. Okay. So after dinner, they end up going dancing. I'm just kind of floating past Courtney's thing. She's unfortunately dealing with Alzheimer's with her dad. We find out heartbreakingly that he's in a home. It breaks my heart. It makes me sad. I can't think too much about it because I'll cry on the mic. Z flirts with a married lady. He pretends not to notice that she has this big fat wedding ring on. She does. We all saw it. Come on. But I don't think he does anything wrong. He's just kind of flirting, and then I don't know. I don't think it's on him anyway. It's on her to decide, if flirting's okay or not. But I felt for Z. He just can't seem to catch a break. I still want him and Courtney to get together. P.S. How funny was it when Dave and Courtney pretended to be a couple at the club? I actually was like, for a second, like, oh shit, that'd be hilarious if those two hooked up because Natasha would lose her mind with jealousy. But I still want her and Z to hook up because they seem so sweet together. So back at the boat, they're all completely wasted and it's kind of fun to watch. At one point, Jason asks when they start tomorrow. He texts Z rather than Storm. To me, it's just a passive aggressive thing. Like he won't recognize Storm as being in charge. He's just going to ask Z, whatever. Z's sitting next to Jason. He ends up texting him 8:30 on deck. Please, PLS. Who cares? Okay. So what else is happening? Z, again, I love him. He takes a very drunk Courtney and gently takes her to bed, lays her down. It's sweet. He closes the door behind himself, and then he falls against the wall because he's very drunk. But I remember, didn't he drop her before being drunk? I was like, oh, God, please don't drop her again. Okay. What else? Oh, I actually thought it was a nice moment. They tried to build it up like it was going to be drama between Natalya and Kyle. But no, they worked it out. He's being sweet with her and saying, like, you got to get over yourself. Basically, Storm gave Natalya a watch. We find out it's actually meant for his sister, but he was drunk. He gave it to Natalya. It was sweet. This is where Natalya bugged me. She took it all too seriously, made it all so hard, whatever. And there's a lot of drama there, too. I think she likes the drama. But I don't know. I was just thinking, like, I liked Kyle in this situation because he called himself, he said, I thought I was Quasimodo until I met Frank and he started talking to me. You kind of just have to basically get over yourself. And Natalya has a good reason for feeling the way she does, going back over her history with her parents' divorce, but I think she's taking it all too seriously. I do. And Storm's an intense guy, so I kind of get why. I don't care. Whatever. I hope they hook up. I don't care. Okay. So they get a free day. So they all go to, I don't know, this beach club, whatever. Natasha's boyfriend is still mean texting her, calling himself the dog minder. Can I just say, I want to look like Natasha when I grow up. I think she's so gorgeous. I love that dark hair. I love her nose. Okay, weird. I know. I'm obsessing, but I think she's gorgeous. Every time I see her on the screen, even when she annoys me, I think, God, she's beautiful. All right, Jason spends his time being weird. They try to include him. He's not having it. He's kind of being a dick. Dave's doing this out in the water. Dave ends up like butterfly swimming out there, and they're like, oh, Dave's competing in the Olympics. I thought it was really funny how they were handling it. I thought this area was gorgeous, but how do you swim in that? I would bust my A on those rocks. They actually made a joke about Dave because he was slipping and sliding around that he would be serving food with a broken hand. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just realized my notes are out of order. Courtney has the conversation about her dad at tonight's dinner. I'm so sorry if you're thinking, Jen, what are you talking about? I just have the nights mixed up. Let me try this again. Okay, beach club day. They do a twerk off between Courtney and Natalya. Kyle's still obsessing about Frank, and the chef is still obsessing about Natasha. They talk about how weird Jason's being. You get the gist. Okay, again, there's Natasha looking gorgeous. This is where Natalya bugged me a little bit. Storm does come on strong. And he talks about tattooing her name on him, but I really wonder, was he joking? Was he serious? I mean, I guess that'd be serious if it'd be too intense if he was serious, but I don't know. I just don't take it all so seriously, but Natalya apparently does. I'm so sorry if I'm mixing up Natalya and Natasha. It drives me crazy. They look alike. Their names are alike. I wish one of them had a completely different name. Storm's kind of being dramatic off by himself, but then Natalya matches his drama with being dramatic too and storming off, if you will, like trying to talk to him, and they call each other out on being dramatic, but nothing really happens. They act like they're in a fight, but they immediately make up and hug and hold hands, and everything's good. No problem. Okay. What else happens? They go to dinner. Natalya jokes about Kyle being demoted to 7th, which I kind of love. Kyle calls her a Tasmanian devil. He says she's cute to look at, but she's hella annoying, to quote him. Cheers to a great day off. Love Courtney's outfit here. I just think it's so cute and tropical. The color's nice with her blonde hair. Jealous. What else? Jason is still being weird. I don't know if he's just drunk, but I think he's just got a weird personality. I know. He is weird. I love that Kyle dressed like a 70s porn star here with the yellow glasses. What else? So this is where we find out about Courtney's heartbreak with her dad. It really did break my heart. I really like Courtney. She seems like such a sweet girl. I find myself rooting for her. She talks about how changing from interior to being a deckhand kind of helped her be happier and find her path, and that's what's keeping her going through this difficult time. So again, this is where, sorry, I already talked about this. This is where Jason is texting Z rather than Storm. I can't get over the shape of Storm's head. I know that's a random thought, but I tell my husband that. He walks through and sees me watching this, and I'll say something like, do you see the shape of this guy's head? There's something attractive about Storm, but I can't get over the shape of his head. Just saying. Once again, provisions are an issue. They keep alluding to Natasha messing up and over-ordering. I don't know if it's that big of a deal or not. I don't know if it's just for drama that they're doing this. Who knows? Who cares? Dave and Natasha seem to find reasons to hug. So he keeps throwing his arms around her, and she keeps being into it. Storm's going to talk to Jason today. He's basically dreading it. He says, oh, I hate this shit. It's all new to him being, I guess, over people, in charge of people, managing people, whatever. So he talks to Jason, right? And he says there's tension between them, and where's your head at? Jason says he's carrying more of the load. And Storm couldn't see it more differently. He's basically saying not only do you have a bad attitude, you're not carrying your weight. So this is what causes Jason to say, well, replace me. And Storm, I actually liked his comeback here saying, well, you obviously don't want to be here if you say that. If that's your go-to answer, you don't want to be here. And I think Storm has a point. He does say, I want you to stay, mate, but I don't know. I'm a little older than these people, and I just think of it as it's not your boss's job. It's not Storm's job to convince Jason to stay. Jason is a grown-up. If Jason doesn't want to stay, he doesn't have to, but Jason needs to suck it up and quit like a grown-up, not just be this pouty whatever he's being and what's the word, like insubordinate and be a jerk. He's just, I think that Storm hit the nail on the head. His mood is affecting the whole team, so he got to go. And the fact that he just throws it out that he's got to go, then yeah, he probably should go. So those are my thoughts. They left it off on it to be continued. I can't wait to see what happens next. Truthfully, as you can imagine, I do hope that Storm replaces Jason. I think we could get somebody with a better attitude out there, and that'll be that. They do have more Bosuns this season, no? I was trying to think. My memory sucks. I'm trying to remember. I thought it was usually 3 and 3, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's did I say Bosuns? I meant a Bosun and the Deckhands. I was thinking it was 3 interior, 3 exterior, but maybe it is a Bosun and 3 exterior. I don't know. Doesn't matter. This is what we got. I hope that they replace Jason with somebody with a good attitude. I'm trying to think who. I know there's people in the past that I've liked. But, yeah. So that's it for the episode. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you are enjoying this. If you're on the same page with me. If you feel differently. It's cool. Let me know in the comments. And thanks so much for being here. I did recap Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm thinking of doing that again because actually I'm really enjoying. It's like I'm hate watching this season and I'm enjoying it. So I might try to do that again later in the week. So look for that. Definitely going to cover when the reunions come up because I'm so excited about that. Yeah, I'm sure there's more stuff coming up, so check it out. We love to hate everything. I talked about them before. They have a YouTube channel. They're amazing. It's Amanda and Jody, trying to help them get subscribers. They've been a podcast for a very long time, but they now have a YouTube channel, so check that out. Also, guys, if you want to hear more of my stuff, check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where you'll find the good stuff, the juice, where I'm talking about Sex in the City, and I'm having a lot of fun recapping that over there. So check that out. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.